Geelong and District Football League. We are the Raiders from all around Geelong. I'm going to tell you how football...
Back, and of course every Saturday morning we look forward to the Colts segment with Alex Tigani. I'm getting better, aren't I, mate?
It's on and off each week.
I know.
All right, let's...
What's been happening in Colts, mate?
Well, Division 1's pretty much wrapped up as we get ready for the finals. The game of the round, of course, top of the table clash, St Mary's first versus Leopold second. Now we go to Division 2, 3 and 4 because there's one more week of home and away season. So second division, Drysdale 5th taking on Geelong Amateurs 6th. That game determines the top 5 for the finals this September. Division 3, this is where the charades are happening. This team has to beat that team has to beat this team. So I'll quickly go through it. If you guys can understand all these numbers, then it's a credit to you this Saturday morning. So Belmont 5th taking on Port Arlington 4th. They need to win this because North Shore are 6th but have a higher percentage, and they'll play the bottom of the table, Bellpost Hill. St Mary's 1st and Queenscliff 2nd, so that will determine who gets the week off come week 1 of finals. And also, just for those GDFL fans who love watching their GDFL sides, Werribee 9th taking on North Geelong 8th. So, Dick, looks like the last time we get to see your North Geelong side in the Colts.
Oh.
Will you be there, or...?
When's that played?
That's this morning, of course.
Oh, this morning, of course, yeah. And I'm heading up to Coburg to watch the ladies' football grand final.
That's a big priority. I mean, how often do the women's get in the granny? There's something for you. Good priority. Speaking of priorities, South Barwon 1st in Division 4. They'll want to cement that spot as they take on Anglesey 2nd. And that the top 5 set, but I will talk up by request by one of our netball girls, Anarchy 3rd taking on Bannockburn 8th. So again, to all the GDFL fans, that's the last time you'll get to see either of those two. Bannockburn in the that division, but Anarchy 3rd, they could get a top 2 spot. Now my play to watch, it's the segment where I have a 4 out of 4 strike rate. Grubby didn't think that Inverleigh could get over the line in the seniors last week. They did by the narrowest of margins. And this week, Matty Tycoon for Bannockburn, 41 senior games. He's had quite a few senior goals. Well, yeah, Matt Tyquin, my player to watch, Rookie of the Year last year. Can he go back-to-back this year? Until then, let's hope my strike rate continues, and that's it for Colts this Saturday morning.
Thanks, Alex, and of course look forward to your show on Sunday night at 5 o'clock on 94.7 The Pulse after the siren, the final siren.
Final siren.
Wraps up everything in local footy. Great show, mate.
Thank you very much for that.
And Alex Tigani will be back again with the Colts segment again next Saturday morning. Well, I haven't introduced him yet. It's been a funny old show with the North Geelong Magpies ladies playing in the grand final this afternoon. We're going to get them on before they jumped on the bus. The number 1 commentator in country football, Eric Nicholls. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick. Nice to be here.
And you've got a very special guest beside you there, mate.
Certainly have, Mick. As 2013 draws to a close, I've got with me Mick Robinson. Morning, Mick, and grandson Kay.
Yeah, good morning, Eric. It's wonderful to be here, and of course it's terrific to have my little grandson here with me. Yeah.
And the fantastic part about it, Mick, is as 2013 draws to a close, it brings to an end 60 years of your involvement in football. Now, when did you start?
First thing I want to correct you with, Eric, is it doesn't bring to an end. I'll be continuing on as long as I can.
Good on you.
And it started in 1952 with Uncle Dick's club, North Geelong. Played under 15s with North Geelong in 1952, and in 1953 I got a clearance to go down and play with Bowen Heads and Ocean Grove. There was no such team as Ocean Grove those days, and it was Bowen Heads and Ocean Grove. And I went down there with the thought that they had a junior team because I was only 16. And when I arrived, I found out all they had was a senior team, and I had to try and get a game in the seniors, which I succeeded in doing.
Now, Mick, over the years, your involvement in footy has been as a player, as an administrator, as a coach, and as an umpire. Is there any portion of all of that that you felt more comfortable with, or you've enjoyed any more than the other, or has it been an overall package for you?
It has been an overall package, but as far as I'm concerned, the thing that I got the most enjoyment out of, Eric, was umpiring. Very strange for people to admit that they get enjoyment out of umpiring, but And the reason for it was back when I was umpiring, we just didn't have the Geelong and District Football League. When you were able to get to the top panel of the umpires, you would serve 1 week doing an Evelyn Hurst game in Geelong, the next week you would be at Colac, the following week you would be at Port Fairy, the week after that you'd be at Western Plains, and the week after that you'd be in the Bacchus Marsh League. All very, very strong leagues they were, and but the variety that you got out of it I absolutely loved.
And I can't let you go without relating the fact that 2 umpiring awards, probably the highest highlights of your career. The Andy Barnett, the first year it was given, did you win that?
Yes, up until 1967 the most outstanding umpire award was called the most consistent umpire. But when Andy Barnett passed away in 1987, he was such a wonderful person and left his mark on the game so much that the Umpires League decided to make the award for the most outstanding umpire award, and named after Andy. And I had the pleasure of winning that, and it was a pleasure because Andy guided me right through my umpiring career. And the other highlight, of course, was in 1966 I became the first Geelong umpire to be invited to go and umpire AFL, but sadly I didn't get around to doing it.
And Mick, in the last 5 years particularly with the GDFL, you've been doing a segment in Football Record, and I reckon you've covered 60 or 70 years in the last 5 years.
Well, actually I think last week was 1978 or something, which means that we've covered 100 years, Eric, because the Geelong and District Football League started in 1878, and it's been a pleasure doing the research, so much so that I've got stacks of information at home which will be passed on. I won't be throwing it out, it'll be passed on to our Geelong Heritage Centre and become a segment in there for people who wish to go and research all this stuff. And yeah, it has been a pleasure, but the real pleasure, you know, is being involved with the Geelong and District Football League. I absolutely love the way it's run. I love all of you people, and that's what I get such a thrill out of. I go along of a Saturday and I can mix with you and Dick and anyone, and we can have fun and walk away and know that next time we meet, we're still the best of mates.
Fantastic, Mick, and congratulations on your 60 years, Dick. Fantastic feat for any one person, but great job from Mick.
Well, I've just worked out that Mick's got to be 96 or something. You're looking pretty good, mate. 60 years in footy. But I've got to say, Mick, I enjoy reading your column in the GDFL Footy Record every Saturday. It's always something interesting and a bit of a flashback, and this time 50 years ago and that sort of thing. It's just a great thing to read, and congratulations on what you do there, mate.
Well, it's very interesting, you know, the way football has changed so much, you know. I mean, just talking about the umpiring side of it. You know, when I was umpiring, there was only one umpire. and one of the other joys, which will make you very happy, Dick, is umpiring the Evelyn Hurst Grand Final in 1968 when North Geelong won it.
There you go. Good way to finish off an interview, Mick. Well done. Good on you, Cade. Thanks for coming in, mate. All right, give Pa a bit of a wave on the camera there. There you go. Thanks again for coming in, Mick and Cade Robertson. Great to see you in the studio Saturday morning. We're going to take a break. I'm going to talk about all the action on in a very, very action-packed round of footy this afternoon. Back after this.
Geelong and District Football League. We are the Raiders from all around Geelong. I'm here to tell you how football